softball is in the midst of their most successful era in school history. A Big 12 champion. That's next Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on ESPNU. Missouri softball is in the midst of their most successful era in school history. A Big 12 championship, 3 straight years hosting a regional, and back-to-back Women's College World Series appearances. And earlier this season, sophomore pitcher Chelsea Thomas added to that legacy with a performance most pitchers only dream of having. On a seemingly ordinary March afternoon versus Drake, Chelsea Thomas took the mound like she always does, hoping to be perfect. Only this time, it was different. This time, those hopes became reality.
Well, it was one of those games where you knew right away that the other team didn't have much of a chance. And that's no insult to anyone. It's just the fact of the matter. Anytime you've played the game or been around it for any amount of time, you know when the other team has no chance. That was one of those days.
Every pitcher dreams of doing that, and I was just so happy for her. I couldn't believe she did it, and I was sitting in the bullpen. I'm like, is she? And then I just stopped. Right after that, I was like, nope, I'm not going to say it. And then it happened. I was like, I was thinking it, and I was really hoping she would get it, and she did. So it was really awesome.
I think the neat part about that day was when it was over for me, just going up to Chelsea and giving her a hug and it wasn't that she pitched a perfect game. It was just, I know what you've been through, and I know how far and how long you've waited for this moment. And you're back, you've arrived, and I was happy for her.
Everyone's like, you had to have known, but I'm like a totally different person in the game. Like, I'm happy and funny and whatever. And then when I get on the field, it's like I'm locked in. I don't really talk to anybody. I'm like locked in my own zone. My motto this year has been take things pitch by pitch, and I was in the moment with that, and after the 7th inning, they're like, "This is a perfect game," and I was like, "All right, yeah."
4 days later, Thomas would throw another perfect game, only adding to her already impressive resume. But with this team, the goals always center around winning. The Big 12 was the first step. Next in line, the Women's College World Series.
You know as well as anybody out there in the sporting world that to win a championship, you got to be a little bit lucky. But you also have to be very good. This team is very good, but we're going to have to get some breaks and a little luck along the way. But the thing I'm most proud of is that this program is at a point to where we can have a real, frank conversation about that possibility.
We're both working hard, and offense and defense are playing at a high level, and we're fighting in the Big 12. It's a tough conference, and we're giving our best every time, and I think our team has a chance at the World Series and definitely winning.
We said, all right, we're not going to go 2 and out. It's not just the nerves anymore. We've been here. We know we belong, all this. And then we went 2 and out, and now we're just like, all right, we just want to win it all. We're going to go for it all. We're not going to do 2 and out. Let's just, set our standards as high as we can. And that way, we have more of a motivation to get there.
So Chelsea Thomas of Missouri accomplishing something that a lot of pitchers only dream about, a perfect game, not once, but twice. Pretty awesome for her.